So it's that time of year again. So every year, about 3 times a year, I go through, and at that point in time in the year, I let you guys know what my top 5 new release designer fragrances of that year are at that point in time. So now we are in April 29th of 2024, and I'm going to let you know of all the designer releases that were released up until this point, which 5 are my favorites, as well as a few runners up. So that's what we're talking about today. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys for joining me for yet another video where we're talking about the new release designers here in 2024, exploring all the ones that were released up to the date and letting you guys know what my favorites are. So if you guys have followed my channel for any amount of time, you know my channel is based around picking up new release designer fragrances while doing some introduction to some new indie, new niche fragrances that I haven't tried before. We sprinkle those in from time to time as well. Well, this year, 2024, I'm kind of stepping back on buying full bottles of the new release designers and buying more niche. I bought 3 times as many niche just here in 2024 as I have over the last 2 years. I'm just trying, because I'm trying to get a little bit more into that. With that said, I'm still trying as many as I can in decant form, samples, whatever it might be, going to the stores. In 2022, there was 36 new releases, mainstream releases. I know there might be some designer releases that are kind of oddballs out there, but I'm talking about 36 mainstream designer releases. I picked up 33 full bottles and 3 decants, and I did all of them in 2022. In 2023, there was 44 mainstream designer releases. I picked up 36 full bottles, and I picked up 4 decants last year. And then there was 3 more that I had missed out on that I picked up this year. And then again, I did, at the end of the year, my top 10 lists from those years. So if you want to go check them out, they are under my playlists, and it's top 3, 5, 10 lists. But today we're talking about 2024. So there was a lot of fragrances released already. If you know anything about designer fragrances, at least over the last 5 years, I would say about 80% of the releases come out between January and March. And then April through May, about 15%. And then there's maybe 2 to 3 more releases for the rest of the year. Last year, we had 3 releases from June on. The year before that, we had 2. So you're really not going to get many designer releases. So what I do is throughout the year, April and then August and the end of the year, I come back and I let you guys know what my favorites are at that point in time. So this is technically the most important one because there has already been a lot of new releases. One that I did not bring out here because I forgot about it until right now is Boy Cobalt Elixir, which I will let you know would be in my runners-up, because I do have 3 runners-up. Boy Cobalt Elixir would definitely be in my runners-up. I think that's a really nice fragrance. Very easy wear. I think it fixed everything that was wrong with the original one in the dry down, and so I actually really like that one. With that said, I'm going to list off all of the ones that I've tried first. We have Narcisso Rodriguez Vetiver Musc. That was a very easy wear fragrance, but definitely not in the top 5. Miyake Solar Lavender. I got a decant of that. Again, nothing special. Burberry Hero Parfum. Nothing special. Invictus Parfum. It's a soapy Invictus. Again, nothing special. Boss Ascent Elixir. Triumph Elixir by Boss. Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. YsL Y L'Elixir. Beau Paradise Garden. Valentino Green Stravaganza. Born in Roma Green Stravaganza. Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. We had Dolce & Gabanna K Eau de Parfum Intense. Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense. Polo 67. Acqua Profondo, which I just tried out yesterday. Stronger With You Tobacco. Prada Ocean Lait Parfum, which I just tried out yesterday. And then the ones that I have not tried yet are John Varvatos XX Artisan Intense. Scandal Absolu, which somebody from Europe is sending me a 10 or 15 milliliter decant of that, so I held off buying that. Explorer Blue, I'm not buying an Explorer not Explorer Blue, Legend Blue. I'm not buying a retail bottle of that because they get down to like 30 bucks in 2 months. With that said, Diesel D Red. Another Diesel is not in my state, so I have no chance of even getting to them. H24 HERBES Vives. I'm not going to pick up an H24. I didn't like any of the H24s to this date. The EDP was better than the EDT. It's just not my style. So I will try it at some point, just haven't yet. And then the last one, I just tried a small dipstick atomizer of it. It's Lhomme Ideal Parfum. I didn't try enough to know if it's in this top 5. It honestly, to me, it just smelled like Lhomme Ideal Extreme, just with a slight twist. I mean, it literally smelled like the Extreme, just with a very light performance. That's all it really smelled like to me. But those are all the new releases, at least to this point in time. I might be missing one or two, but the main ones. I mean, there's like the CK Eternities that haven't even made it to the States yet. CK1 and the Eternity. I can't remember the name, but they're on their way out too. With that said, we're going to give you the top 5 of the ones that I mentioned that I've tried already. Let me give you the runners up first, though. The first runner up, I was going to put this in my top 5, but I decided against it. I had a decan of it. As you can tell, it is gone now. I am picking up a bottle of it, but I'm in no rush because it's nothing great. Honestly, in 2024, this year, it's top heavy. There's really good fragrances at the top, but the rest of the fragrances that were released in the designer community this year, mediocrity. It is overwhelming mediocrity this year. With that said, it is YsL Y L'Elixir. YsL Y L'Elixir. I like the Le Parfum better. I like Live better. I like the EDT better. So it's not even the best in the line itself. So I definitely wouldn't be putting it in a top 5 list for this year. YsL Y L'Elixir. It is a darker, more resinous Y that has, it actually for the first like 45 minutes doesn't smell like much like a Y. It is a lot of ginger, a lot of lavender with this resinous smokiness underneath it. So it's like a resinous, smoky soap bomb. And that's the way to say it. For the first 45 minutes, it is a big bomb of soap just with a little bit of resins and this darker smokiness underneath it. It's nice. It's just nothing special. As it gets to the dry down and that soapiness starts to wane, it's a little bit more of like a darker, a little bit more resinous version of YsL Y Le Parfum if you had a soapy, smoky undertone. It's good. It's just, I would give it like a 7.5 to an 8. I thought I loved it at first, but then I was like, I'm kind of in the middle. It's a good fragrance. I'll definitely wear it, but I'm not spending $150 for a 2 ounce right now. And I know that price will drop. It is on News Parfums for $100, so I'm thinking about buying that, but they have a shipping error going on right now, so I can't buy it yet. With that said, the next one on the runners up, Azzaro, the Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense. If the dry down for this came earlier, this would be in my top 5. So when you first spray this on, it is minty green aromatic, but at the same time, it's like a synthetic minty green aromatic. It smells very nice, but the opening is not going to be for everybody. That is the more basic standard part of the fragrance. While I say minty and it smells nice, the mintiness is not like something you'd smell in like Torino 21 where it's a fresh herbaceous mintiness. This is more of like a syrupy mintiness. It has a little bit of this oak moss liquor that provides like a little bit of almost like an absinthe feel. But as you get about 35 to 45 minutes into the fragrance, so it takes a while to get to the dry down, it starts to get to this creamy freshness mixed together with the original. I actually have it out right now with this one, with the Most Wanted. So you do get that kind of toffee amberwood that you get from this, that gourmand feeling, but then it's freshened up with that green minty tone underneath, and it turns into this creamy, fresh fragrance. And it's really, really freaking good in the dry down. I give the dry down like an 8.5, but the opening is like a 7.5. So that is what draws this to be not in the top 5. That's Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense. The last one is going to be a discounter bomb. It's not going to be one you want to buy at full retail because it's not worth it at full retail. This is going to be one that smells like other things, but it's more refined and better. It is Polo 67 by Ralph Lauren. This fragrance, again, this is my third runner-up. It basically smells like a fresher, citrusy, more refined version of Ralph's Club Eau de Parfum. It's a very nice, sporty fragrance. It's fresh, it's clean. It's going to be an everyday wear, and it's one fragrance you don't want to spend over $100 on, which is what it's going for at retail, like 120 or something. Polos are known after 3 months. Like Polo Blue Parfum right now is $45 on Joma Shop. When this gets to $45, this is going to be a steal. People are going to be headhunting for this fragrance because it is super easy to wear. It's super mass appealing. You guys are going to want to wait for this to hit discounters. And so if this one right now is $50, it would be in my top 5 for sure. It's just because it's not. It's a discounter bomb. That's basically what it is. Going into the top 5. This one was very hard for me to even put in the top 5. It was between this and the most wanted one. Honestly, the number 5 spot doesn't really deserve any hype from me. That's why I said it's top heavy. And for me, it's top 4 heavy, not even like top 3 heavy. But number 5 is Jean Paul Gaultier's Beau Paradise Garden. I got a decant of this from somebody off Facebook that my moderator knew. And I wore through the whole thing when I was on vacation. At first I liked it, then I was like, and then I kind of was like back and forth. If you guys remember, I was so torn on it. You guys were like, make up your damn mind. Well, I still couldn't make up my mind, so I went and got another decant from the same exact guy, and now I'm wearing through it again, and I still don't know. I'm going to say, at the end of the day, I still like the original Beau better, because I didn't like the Le Parfum very much. This is a callback to the original Beau, where it has that nice sweet coconut, tonka mixture, a little bit of the woodiness under there. This one's a little bit less sweet, a little bit more green, but it has this more syrupy green feeling to it, where that's what it's, I'm not sure. It's almost like a synthetic syrupy tone, where I can understand why people like it, but I feel like this fragrance was overhyped. That's just me. It smells nice, don't get me wrong. And it might smell better when I wear it in the heat, because at this point in time, I wore it on vacation, but even whenever I wore it when I was on my cruise, it was like 68 degrees, so it wasn't even a hot day. So, I mean, I'm going to try it in the heat, and maybe that'll fix it, but I like it. It's just, for me, it's like a 7.5. It's nothing crazy. To me, it's overhyped, and I still would rather go with this guy. But it's just me. With that said, that's number 5. Number 4, people might say, you can say whatever you want, but I didn't buy this yet. I'm going to be buying it because I just went out of my decant, but you can say whatever you want. It is redundant to this one, the Gentleman's Society original, but we're talking about Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. So I have the original. And I have the other one, the Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. It's in the cart right now with YsL Y L'Elixir. Again, until News Parfums fixes their shipping error, I haven't sent them yet, but I am getting both of them. Givenchy Gentleman's Society Extreme. This was a 7.5 for me. It's a very nice vanilla Palo Santo fragrance. It's woody, it's vanillic, it's very nice, very easy wear. But the new one is just better, it's smoother, it's more refined, and every single category, the Extreme is better than this. And I told you guys whenever I got this, I said this fragrance could be amped up and made better just by adding something else. Something small, something else. And what they did with the Extreme was they smoothened it out, they made it more refined, and then they added this coffee note. It's like that synthetic coffee note that you get from Polo Red Extreme that I love, that a lot of people love. It's discontinued now, but there's this synthetic coffee note that is underneath this fragrance that with the Extreme version of it, that it just adds a nice piece to it. While it's not heavy, and it's just under there, it sits under there for the whole fragrance. It's still that Palo Santo, it's still that vanilla, it's still going to be that very easy wear fragrance, but it's just so much better. I gave this a 7.5. I give the Extreme an 8.5. I think it's a very nice addition. It's just, if you own this, it's hard to tell you guys to buy the other one because they are so similar. It's just that coffee note and the fact that it's so much smoother. I would tell you guys to actually sell this and buy that. It's just, for me, I'm going to own both and probably never wear this one again once I get the other one. With that said, going into number 3. This is probably my second favorite one from this line as far as the warmer fragrances are concerned. And it's outside of Freeze. It is the furthest away from the actual DNA. This is Stronger With You Tobacco. Stronger With You, this is where we're getting to the ones that were actually really good this year. Stronger With You Tobacco. When I first sprayed it on, I sprayed it on a tester strip and I was like, why isn't there any tobacco? Well, man, was I wrong, because once you spray this on skin, the tobacco in this, it is a dry tobacco leaf. And then you have this almost like pink pepper feeling to it. It's almost like if you took a dry tobacco leaf and just spread it all over yourself when you're wearing Stronger With You, absolutely, because it has that nuttiness, it has that resinous quality, it has that Stronger With You, absolutely DNA underneath this really dry, beautiful tobacco leaf. It's like a pipe tobacco. If you want to be bold, you want to be hyper masculine with this amazing, beautiful tobacco leaf that is definitely not going to be for the faint of heart. It's not going to be a fragrance you can wear every day, but if you like tobacco scents, definitely give this one a try. It's a really cool bottle too. But that's my number 3, and that one lasts like 18 hours. Not even kidding. I mean, it's like 3 days on skin. Same with the next one. This is going to also be one that not everybody's going to like, but it's actually kind of funny because the top two were from the same brand. This brand has been killing it, and I don't really care. It is Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir. So, all 3 of my moderators have tried this. 2 of my moderators said, holy crap, that is great. And then my one moderator was just like, bleh. And that is exactly what this fragrance is going to do to you. It's because of the patchouli in it. And the patchouli in this, I absolutely love it. It's a patchouli-based fragrance, but for me, it comes across like a warm, creamy patchouli, and that's exactly what it gets on me. But for other people, it's coming off super earthy. I don't know what it's doing with them. To me, it smells like a greener, more wearable, less incensey version of Boss Bottled Elixir, the original Boss Bottled Elixir, which a lot of people love. This is more wearable, it's greener, it still has that incense, it still has that ambery undertone, that resinous undertone. This is just a little bit smoother, a little bit creamier, and it's beautiful. Has a little bit of that earthy patchouli under there, but again, for me, it's like a warm, creamy patchouli. It's a very beautiful fragrance, and it lasts, again, forever. It's not going to be a huge projector like the Boss Bottled Elixir was. This does dial it down just a tone, but it's more above average and it sticks. So Boss Bottled, Hugo Boss has been absolutely crushing it. Again, greener, more wearable version of the Elixir. Going into the last one, again, sticking with the same brand. This was the first fragrance released this year, and I know this will not be number 1 at the end of the year because there's a Spicebomb leather coming out. Black leather, I think it's called Spicebomb Black Leather. As soon as that comes out, I can already tell you that's going to be my number 1. But this one is Boss the Scent Elixir. This is another one. It's an elixir, but it's not like overly strong. This is basically mixing, speaking of Spicebomb, it's like mixing Boss the Scent Magnetic with that kind of like dry brand Absolu and the vanilla and all that, mixing it together with Spicebomb Infrared, that kind of like offsetting sweet and spiciness that you get from the pink pepper. You get a little bit of this fruitiness from the Maninka, which kind of is like the fruitiness from the Spicebomb Infrared. You smash those two together, at least for the first 45 minutes to an hour. It is Spicebomb Infrared meets Boss the Scent Magnetic. As you get to the dry down, you do get a little bit more Maninka popping through. You get a little bit more of that woodiness and spice popping through, but the main part of this fragrance that you can smell that is going to be what it's known for is this Spicebomb Infrared Boss Descent mixture. That is just absolutely beautiful. And I'm telling you, I told you at the beginning of the year, at the end of this year, it's going to be in my top 5. It will be in my top 5. It's just, there's a fragrance that's coming out that I know, I'm pretty sure they can't screw it up, and it's going to be my number 1, that Spicebomb. We also have like the Bulgari Man in Black Parfum. We have some good ones that are supposed to be coming out this year. And there's also a Mugler, supposedly, Mugler Amen Phantasm to offset the women's line Phantasm. So we're going to see if that comes out too. So I'm excited for other releases. But with that said, my top 5 again were the Beau Paradise Garden. We have the Givenchy Gentleman Society Extreme, Stronger With You Tobacco, Boss Bottled Triumph Elixir, and Boss Descent Elixir. Let me know what you guys think about the fragrances that came out this year. Again, it wasn't a great year so far. Again, the top 3 are the only ones I really cared about, really. The Extreme, I definitely really like. It's just any other year, it wouldn't be in my top 5. With that said, thank you guys so much. Comment below, let me know what your thoughts are, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.